This is the plaintiff, Christine Larson. She says she purchased 2 3-month-old kittens from the defendant, and as it turns out, they were closer to being 3 years old. In addition, one of them had a terrible infection which required emergency surgery, and this woman, the defendant, ripped her off big time, and she's not happy about it. So she's suing for the $1,365.67 she's owed for vet bills and pet care costs. This is the defendant, Elena Starta. She says the plaintiff's young and just made a decision she couldn't handle. Also, just for the record, the kittens were nowhere near 3 years old. They were in fact 6 months old. As far as the vet bills the plaintiff's suing for, her vet states the charges are totally false, bloated, and she's not paying. She's accused of being catty about a kitty cat.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff bought 2 3-month-old kittens from the defendant, or so she thought. Turned out the kittens were more like 3 years old, but the defendant says the kitties were closer to 6-month-old. It's the case of Cat Got Your Wallet?
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Christine Larson, you are suing Elena Starta for $1,365.67 in damages you say you incurred as a result of her selling you a diseased animal, as well as an animal purporting to be a kitten that was actually 3 years old, according to you. All right, tell me what happened here.
I purchased 2 kittens, and per my contract, they were aged 3 months old.
Can I see the contract?
Sure. The day after I arrived home with both kittens, one of them was exhibiting signs of illness where she had...
What kind of cats were these that they were $1,400?
They were Tonkinese. Tell me about
Tonkinese. Tell me about this breed. Why are they so special?
They are, as far as I know, it's a blend of a Burmese and a Siamese cat, and they are just very friendly, almost dog-like cats where they are just very personable and well-behaved.
Okay.
So,
social?
Social. I have many friends that own the same breed, which is what piqued my interest in them in the first place.
Okay, so go on.
So, on the next day after I purchased them, I noticed the one was having a yellowish discharge coming out of her. So I immediately called my vet, who I was referred to by one of my friends that has the same kind of cat, and described her symptoms. They said that could be a symptom of what's called a pyometra, and that she needed to come in right away. So we booked an appointment for the very next morning, took both cats in with me. The vet examined both of them and particularly paid attention to the one with the discharge. Noticed right off the bat, he said, this isn't a 3-month-old kitten. She's got all of her adult teeth.
Okay,
and
which means that she's at least how old?
At least 6 months.
Okay.
So he did a bunch of blood tests, x-rays, and exams on her and determined that she was suffering from what was probably just the beginning of an infection. So he prescribed antibiotics for the next 10 days. So I took them home over the course of, that evening I emailed Miss Starta saying that I wanted to return both cats because they were not the age that she told me they were.
Now, you pretty much knew she wasn't in town that evening, right? Because you ended up purchasing these kittens the day before she was leaving on a trip to Russia.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Go on.
So I emailed her.
How many kittens, the day you went over to her house to look at the cats, how many cats were there?
Many. At least 30 or 40.
Oh, there were cats everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
I never heard back from her. The discharge that the one cat had was getting progressively worse.
Okay, hold that thought 1 second. Did you get her email?
No, I don't have internet in Moscow apartment, and then I only knew about emails when my husband Gary called me terrified that Miss Larson leaves messages on the phone.
Okay, is your husband here?
He's working today.
Okay, who are all the other men you brought? You brought 3 men, none of them your husband?
They are my...
Go, girl.
They are my buyers. They are my white knights. They are my buyers. They bought kittens over a period of 8 years. They are totally devoted to their kittens. It's understandable. So he called me because there is one-way calling to Moscow and from America. And he said that there is really a terrible problem. Kittens are dying. You have to check emails. And I went to internet cafe. So I checked the email and I replied to her because I saw that.
So what did you do? You're in the internet cafe, you check the email, and the
Yes.
email is, show me your first email. The email is telling you we have a huge problem, these cats are not the age you said they were, and one of them is really sick and needs surgery, and I just want to return these cats, and you can do what you want. And what do you respond to that email?
I said that it's possible to say wrong age for the cats because I had two litters born 0 for 2510 and 07 I believe 17 or 25.
How do you not know how old the cats are when you're selling them?
When Miss Larson came home, came to
and
visit.
just a second, now you're saying, okay, yeah, they're 6 months old. Well, the doctors were saying, look, these cats are at least 6 months old because they have all their adult teeth. Yeah, that's right. I had another litter and they're 6 months old. That's a little suspicious.
My PC crashed, I guess, in September.
Your PC crashed? Don't you know which cat's which? I mean, you know that in your
It's
head.
also structured. It was late, and I was just totally...
So you thought you were selling her a different cat?
By the time she was leaving, yes, yeah.
You thought
yes,
you were selling
Honor.
her a different cat.
By the
Confused
time
cats.
she was leaving, they...
Okay, so
yes.
according to you, it's way worse than this because the cat isn't 6 months old. According to you, what happens next?
After 1 week, the discharge had become really bad and became bloody, and I called the vet on his cell phone and described the symptoms. He said, this is an absolute emergency. Sounds like she has an infected uterus, which needs to be extracted right away. So I was faced with a life or death decision, essentially. So he does the surgery that day. I come to pick her up later that evening, and he confirmed that she did have a pyometra. And he did a thorough dental exam at this point to check the amount of tartar and the condition of the cat's teeth. And so he aged her at approximately 3 years.
3 years. But how does a person confuse a 3-year, like, in other words, a 3-year-old cat won't look like a kitten.
Right. I mean, she was very small.
How small was she? Do you have pictures of the cat?
I do.
May I see it? Oh my God, they're so cute. Very fashionable collar. Match the eyes exactly.
Thank you.
She looks like a kitten. She doesn't look 3 years old.
Right. So my
But
question.
let me see your vet's letter. All right, so now she comes back from Russia, and what do? You solve part of the problem, correct? You end up returning to her the money for the cats, and she ends up returning to you the cats.
Yes, I wanted cats back because
All right,
I
so
saw
you
what's
both
going
left
on.
open then the discussion about what was going to happen with the surgery. Now, you feel that you shouldn't have to pay for the surgery. Why?
The charges were overinflated, and for pyometra, I also have medical records from my vet. He charged me $200.
How much?
$200.
Okay.
Because
now
it's a
this
little
vet
bit more.
wrote a letter that after she started to bleed, they all made the conclusion that the surgery was imminent, otherwise she would die. And for the record, when I examined Dinah on this date, I found her to be undoubtedly an adult cat. She has adult canines, and its dentition suggests that the cat is at least 3 years old. That's what the vet says. Okay? And you're telling me, trust me, Judge, the cat's 6, but you said the cat was 3, so I can't trust you.
It's not possible to take.
I don't know. Maybe it's a
kitten
runt. I don't know.
For the
I
younger
don't know.
cat.
I would feel a lot better if I could just trust you as a breeder and trust your records. And you yourself has said, I can't trust my records. I thought it was a different cat I was selling because it was dark and I was tired. I pre-anesthetized the cat, blah, 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 blah. Midliner, I discovered pyometra. The primary purpose of this letter is to formally state that Dinah the cat is in fact an adult cat aged roughly 3 years. She is not, nor is it possible for her to be a kitten, as the breeder from New Jersey had wrongly informed Ms. Larson. The secondary purpose of this letter is to inform all involved with this case that the pyometra surgery I performed on the 5th day of November 2010 was in fact an emergency surgery and was necessary to keep the cat alive. In regards to the price of the emergency pyometra surgery, my office has gathered 3 separate estimates from 3 separate animal hospitals. Each of these estimates is no less than twice the price of what I charge my client. That being the case, I find that our charge of $686.85 to be a very respectable price. As a veterinarian who's been practicing for nearly 30 years, I am obligated to an oath of ethics and I cannot extrapolate or lie. Anybody can, my friend, but okay. In any event, this letter is very compelling. What is it? What do you have to contradict this letter? He examined the cat. Your vet didn't, right? Can you show me the vet reports of what? I don't know which cat it is.
I have a picture of this cat that went to live with other people right after this.
Okay, so you end up exchanging the money and the cat. You got the $1,400 back.
Yes.
You got the cats back. You ended up finding a home for both the cats?
Right away, yes.
Okay.
And there isn't any questions about her age or health.
Well, there's a question. You admit there's a question that you said the cat was. I'm not making this up. You can't get offended. You admit yourself that you had no idea what cat you were selling because you thought it was a 3-month-old cat and it turned out to be a 6-month-old cat.
I'm saying
because you had 2 litters.
That when Miss Larson was leaving, I was in a zombie state.
Okay.
Whatever she would tell me, it was just totally, I was exhausted.
Okay.
And the next day, if I would be home, I would just describe a mistake.
I now ask you for the following. What cat did you sell her that you then resold? Do you know which cat it is?
The one that you have the
What's
picture.
the cat's name according to you?
I don't remember how Paulina named her. And
do you remember what she had named that cat?
I had named my cat, but not what she renamed
usually
it.
buyers name their cats. If my pets stay with me, I name them.
So how do you keep them separate? Like what in your mind? How do you keep them separate? I know on your computer we can't rely on.
Each kitten has personality. You would never ever.
You have 40 cats on remember? They have 40
I
different
don't have 40 cats.
How many do you have?
About 14. And
14.
then right now I have 3 litters, which is adds to.
All right.
Yeah.
I would like the medical records for this cat. Do you have that?
I did not.
Court is in recess.
All rise.
So if you bought a cat from a breeder, would you assume the breeder is reputable or would you get the cat checked out?
I would absolutely get the cat checked out.
How come? Why would you get it checked out?
To make sure that it's really the age they're saying it is.
Are breeders more reputable, say, than private parties? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree that they're more reputable.
But would you get it checked out?
Yeah, because I still wouldn't trust a breeder.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
All right. I wanted to take a recess because the essential defense that you have is, Judge, even if you're going to make me pay for the surgery, that is a highly unreasonable charge for this kind of surgery. Because look, Judge, here is an example of what it should cost. My vet only charged $175. All right. We have a couple of things to discuss. First of all, we have the issue that her vet says that this animal was neither 3 months old nor 6 months old, but at least 3 years old, based on the dental examination of the animal. And I know that you say, but what do I have on your part? I've got numerous cats all over the place that you don't tag or name or have any other method of making sure who's who. So why is it so unbelievable that the doctor's right and that it's 3 years old? And I have a big concern about that, because that's not a mistake that you can blame on your computer going down. You know how many cats you have, you know who's who, and you should know which one was born in July and which one was born in April. I think that's a pretty grave mistake that you're that disorganized. That's one. And that, what she's suing you for there is fraud, okay? Every state has laws that define what your remedies are when there's a sale of an animal and the animal is diseased, okay? And most states end up capping it at the cost of the animal. But I feel that the fact that the age of the cat, whether it's 6 months or 3 years, was misrepresented to her, that puts it under fraud. That puts it under fraud. So I'm not going to cap you at the amount of the medicals. Now, the next issue is, were those medicals exorbitant and ridiculous like you claim? I took a recess in order to call various clinics in your area, because it's irrelevant what people charge in this area, it's irrelevant what people charge in your area, it's only relevant what people charge in her area. And not only is that charge reasonable, it's less than a lot of the places I called. So I don't know about that estimate you got, but I don't trust it any more than I trust how old the cat is. Now, you are suing for numerous things that are not compensable, like the toys you bought the cats, and the bed you bought the cats, and the pretty collars you bought. That is not a compensable expense. Why? Because the stuff that you are expected to have spent is the stuff to keep the cat alive, to examine the cat, and then to return the cat. However, your mileage, having to drive back and forth as a result of the misrepresentation of the age and the disease that the cat came with, which was evident by the next day, that is compensable. Now, going over your medical bills, both the initial one and the surgery, and your mileage, I find in your favor in the amount of an additional $1,003.20. Good luck.
Thank you.
Everybody just hold right out.
Well, here comes the defendant, and that same smile has been on her face the entire case. I think it just left for a second. What's going through your mind now?
I would like to thank you, say thank you to all my buyers that sent me enormous support, and my mentor, and my family.
You lost, you know.
I do, but I don't feel it's fair. But I respect.
Why not?
Because you have to think before you making such a serious decision to adopt kittens.
Are you going to keep better records of the animals that you have?
I do have all the records, and I do have my system, and my buyers were advising me to tell about all these nicknames and everything. Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Head right around the corner. All right, so step on in here. How you feeling about the outcome now?
I feel good. I think that it was a fair judgment, and I agree with her.
Thinking back over everything you went through, does this make it all worth it?
No, it was very emotionally and mentally stressful throughout the entire thing, and no amount of money can really replace that.
You glad you did things the way you did, though, looking back?
I'm glad I documented things and took care of the evidence the way that I needed to handle it here today.
Made all those decisions, took care of the animals the way you did?
Yes.
All right, Harvey.
So fraud is the misrepresentation of a material fact. It can't be a minor thing. The age of the cat, though, is not minor. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.